Okay, guys, we're gonna actually start making our prints today. This is a proof I made. I know I said prints first, but proofs are practice prints. So here's our block that we made from the last video, okay? And I've inked it up and I put it down on the paper, like I'll show you in a second, and the image will transfer. Notice how it flips. So if you have writing, you have to do it. The writing has to be backwards, or else it will come out backwards when you print it. Other thing I want to point out is, if you notice, I wrote my name in the bottom left-hand corner neatly. I wrote the name of the print. This one's just called Lighthouse, and this one says 1 of 1 because it's the only one I made of this series. Okay, so if you make 4 or 5 of 1, it would say 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, 4 of 5, 5 of 5. Okay, so again, you're going to make 2 proofs on white paper before you make your 4 good prints. Okay, and you can use white as one of your 4. You just have to use 4 different colors because I want you to see how the ink looks on different colors. How black looks or red looks on pink compared to yellow, compared to blue, compared to purple. Okay, some other things we need to talk about real quick. This colored stuff is not paint, it's ink. It's printmaking ink. It's different than paint. It's a little thicker, okay? And you need to be wearing an art shirt, or else, because if this stuff gets on your clothes, it's not coming out, okay? This is not called a roly thingy. This is called a brayer, what we use to ink up our project, our block with, okay? This plastic thing is called the inking block, okay? This is a printmaking block. This is an inking block, okay? So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put my colored paper off to the side, and I'm going to use red, and I'll have different colors out for different classes because it helps me keep track of all the prints. So when they start, I will be the one who puts out the ink for you because it's a little easier when we get started and then down the road you can put some out. But see how it comes out kind of goopy at first, which is fine because what happens is over time the color kind of separates out, so I'll get some of that out. Okay. And then it's just kind of on my hand, and it's I'll just wash my hands afterwards. But there's like an oil in there that kind of separates out that you can't really shake the tubes because it really doesn't really do anything. So I'm going to put down some ink in the middle of my block, about a quarter in size. Okay, I'll put my lid back on, and I'll put my ink off to the side. If you get some on your hands, big deal. When I go to spread out the ink, I don't just start going back and forth really fast. I put my brayer right in the middle. I go a little bit forward and a little bit backwards, a little bit forward, and I kind of move it around. But I'm staying in an area. I'm not going all over the place because I want to spread it out evenly. And you can see it's starting to thin out, and it's still kind of thick. I might have put out a little too much. Okay, and I'll go different directions to really even it out. I even go backwards one time here. Now you can hear it. It's starting to make like a sticking noise. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, so I'm going to try inking with that. So on the table you'll have paper out, but then you take your brayer and you put it in the middle of your block and you roll. And then when I get to the top, I'm going to go across this way so I don't roll off into the table. Then I'll spin my block around, and I'll go this way. I'll go the other direction, and I'll kind of tilt it to get the edge. Now the edges, because I cut these on a paper cutter, we're not gonna have super crisp edges, which is kind of cool because it'll give it kind of a cool look. And now that my block is inked up, I will take my paper. You know what? I'm going to try to clean my hands off a little bit on a paper towel. So I have, when I use the paper, my hands aren't super dirty. So I'm going to actually grab a piece of paper here and try to wipe it off my hands. Okay, put my block off to the side. Get my white paper. and I put it down. Okay, and I put it in the middle. I try to put it right in the middle of the paper. All right, so it's on there, and I gently flip the paper over. So now the paper side is up, and I rub the paper, counting to 100. So I go in circles, and I go back and forth. Okay, I'm trying to get all that ink to transfer over to the paper as much as I can. Okay, now when you're doing this, the next time you ink it up, you're not gonna wash off your block between prints. And if I'm getting stuff on the back of the paper, that's okay. Nobody will see that. It's the front that you're trying to keep as clean as possible. So now I'm going to pull what's called pulling my print by holding it down on one side and grabbing the corner and peeling up. Let's see how it came out. All right, so it came out okay. Okay, I would like a little bit more ink in here and in here. So I'll do another practice one on white paper, okay? And then I'll start trying it on my different colors because red will look very different on purple than it will on yellow, okay? So don't clean your block off between prints. Whatever color you start with today or whatever day you're printing, you use that color. Don't keep switching colors because water will get into your block and you'll get blobs. Okay, so that is it, and we will get started on that.